What do we need to know about a Cancer ascendant in astrology? Let's get more. Hey, everybody. Welcome to my channel where I make videos all about astrology, general videos like this one, and weekly forecasts. If you like the kind of content that I produce here, click the subscribe button and like this video so that you get more of those types of videos. So, today we're going to be discussing the ascendant or rising sign in the sign of Leo in the birth chart and what it means if you have this placement. I know of one person who has it. A family member actually has a Virgo rising. I thought it was a Leo rising, but she's actually a Virgo rising. We're going to get into Virgo rising in the next video. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to talk about what it means if you were born with Leo rising on the eastern horizon at the moment of your birth. Keep in mind that the ascendant sign changes every 2 to 4 hours, so you definitely want to know the exact time where 3 hours from one point to another can make a difference between what your ascendant sign is from one point to another point. So you do want to keep it in consideration. The time has to be exact for you to determine the ascendant. It's the first thing that people say about you. It represents your body. It can represent the first impressions of what people see before they really get to know you on a deeper level. So, with all that being said, let's get into it. So, the ascendant in Leo is a sign where these people tend to be um sort of hot eyes and getting the attention noticed. So, these people um tend to be noticed and they get a lot of attention. So they're all about the attention. Leo is about, I want to shine in the spotlight and I want everyone to revolve around me. I want the world to revolve around me because I am the star of my life. And so a Leo ascendant is very much, very much about the presentation of what you put out into the world, of the person that you project yourself out into the world as being. So this is all very, very important information. So they radiate a magnetism that gets others' attention. They radiate this ball of light, this quality to them that makes a lot of people coming to them and attracting to them their energy. A lot of people are attracted and drawn in by Leo's warm, generous, um, very heart-centered energy because Leo, in medical astrology and bodily astrology rules the heart. So they can be loud and put a lot of attention on their personal appearance. The personal appearance, where they look into the mirror and they want to see the person that they have up to their expectations of who they should be. They really value what other people think of them. They need that validation for other people to love them for their own light, for their own beauty in the spotlight. And if people are running away from them, then that makes them feel very sad, very frustrated, very lonely, unworthy. So they need the applause. They need the attention put on them when it comes to them shining their light. But the thing is that the opposite side of Leo, Aquarius, is 180 degrees away from Leo on the zodiac wheel, and it's saying, don't care what other people think. March to the beat of your own drum. Be independent. Be pioneering. Be the maverick. So that's what Aquarius is saying. So when Leo doesn't, um, really care what other people think, and they shine anyway, then their fire grows that much brighter. That's the trick of how Leo can evolve through Aquarius. It really, there's a very, very strong overlap with Leo and Aquarius energy, where you can't have one without the other kind of thing. So, they have a very regal manner, a very, very grand, regal sort of manner that they present themselves, where they demand attention from others. They need that attention. They thrive on that attention. So when they get this attention, you know, and when they allow attention to fill them up, then they feel on top of the world. They feel on cloud nine. They feel like their life is going in a good direction. They feel at peace within themselves. They feel content. They're very self-aware and body conscious individuals also. So they are very, very aware of others and how they come across. They're very, very concerned with their appearance, what they're saying is how it's coming across, what they're doing and how it's coming across. So they really value that, the other people around them to let them know how it is coming across. They care about how they look, how they dress, how how their speech is, what their actions entail. That's the sort of um, mungivin of what the Leo rising person can step into. So they consider their environment and the people that they're with very, very critically, very, very strongly, very deeply. That is a reflection of their own image. Those things are very, very high values. There is this feeling of being on stage. There's this feeling of having people around you. There's this feeling of having the cameras, the people around that are looking at you, staring at you, expecting you to act and perform. And there's this feeling of being on stage. Your home can even be the stage. Your work can be the stage. Everywhere you go, you may have this feeling of being on stage. Like the other people are looking at you, and the focus is entirely on you and nobody else. They can be prone at times to temper tantrums and acting exaggeratively out of excess. So, the excess of what they're acting upon is multiplied by their page encounters, by what they put out into the world and what they get back from the world. So when it comes to their excesses, they may act very, very dramatically, taking an emotion and amplifying it very, very hugely. That's what I mean by acting, excessively. That's what this is all about. And so their temper tantrums can also get really, really fueled up as well. They have tremendous will and drive. Once they set their minds on something, once they set their heart on something, they're fully committed to it. Leo is a fixed fire sign, so they are going to have it accomplished in their life. At times, they can be very managerial, managing people. They're very, very good at that. However, they can be bossy at times and feel like they're the one in charge and all those kind of things, and they thrive on leadership roles. But they need to not be so bossy and be more understanding and considerate and open to others, and allowing sharing the spotlight with them, as opposed to just taking it all and making it all about them. So that's very, very important for them to take into consideration. So just how outgoing that you are, if you have this placement, depends on your sun sign and house. If you're a Pisces sun, you may be very introverted, for example. If you're an Aries sun, you're definitely more extroverted. So it all depends on the sun sign and the house the sun is in. because the sun is the ruling planet of Leo. If you have Leo rising, the sun is your chart ruler. So you're very self-aware, having a lot of self-knowledge, a lot of self-understanding of of who you know are really meant to be. And there's a very, very strong sense of optimism, very, very positive outlook at life, very focused on that optimistic point of view. They want to make things happen, they need action, they need stimulation. They do things with pride, creativity, and with uniqueness. They pride themselves on their creativity and their ability to make something entirely themselves. Very, very different from somebody else's interpretation of that action. So they do everything in their own unique kind of way, their own special way. They desire to be the star of the show. In terms of their physical body, it is very, very strong, very strong stature, very, um, bodily typing. They can be an authoritarian in a strong manner. They can have an authoritarian in a strong manner. They're generous at times, they're fun-loving, and they're also very warm. They've, as I said before, so they tend to overestimate themselves. They think they can do all these big things, and sometimes they may bite off more than they can chew, where they feel like they can do all these things and overestimating their ability, but then stepping back and realizing, I can't do all this. It's more of a Sagittarius rising thing. That quality of overestimating themselves is prevalent in the way of casings. So, they are excited and enthusiastic about their endeavors and challenges. They are good at drama and demonstrations. They're very, very good at drama. They have the potential to be very, very big-hearted, very open-hearted. They're very generous. They're very magnanimous. Um, you celebrate individuality and the creativity, joy, and spirit of life being expressed. So anytime someone expresses creativity or joy or spirit, that lights them up, that it like fuels their passion for life, fuels their optimism for life, fuels that sense of, I really, really, really want my life to be great and all that in the bag of chips kind of thing. Now, on the downside, because we always have to look at the shadow sides of something, they can sort of move into being self-centered and even narcissistic. They can embody these qualities if they are falling on the shadow side of the spectrum of the Leo ascendant. But you want to switch over to the right side of the spectrum, which is positive traits, which is releasing the shadows from the negative traits and taking those lessons and moving them over to the positive side. So, it may be hard for you to share this following, wanting all the attention on you. It may be very, very difficult for you to admit to when you make mistakes. You may want to blame everybody else, make it everybody else's fault when you need to turn the attention on yourself and you need to take accountability and responsibility for your own actions. They can be very domineering at times, also very controlling at the low level. You tend to do things in a very unique and dramatic way. There's a huge sense of dignity that they have, self-respect, and personal honor. In relationships, they're so loyal to the core. They will be with you, they will celebrate you, they will be with you through thick and thin. They're committed to you. Once you've entered a Leo rising circle and they really like you and they promise to take care of you, believe them because they will stick it out. Um, there's a willingness to go out of their way to make other people happy that they like. So you are incredibly giving and generous and expect appreciation all that you give. This is huge. So you have tremendous courage, very, very courage, very brave and bold. They're very fortunate in their lives. They are known for their bright and bold expressions. Loyalty and pride are really, really strong themes with the Leo rising. They need structure and order in their workplace. They need that certain order and structure to really, really work hard to achieve what they want to. Trust is absolutely necessary before they let new people into their homes. They need to make sure that they can trust the person before inviting them into their circle. They are very engaging. They can, tell a story very engagingly. They can attract a large audience because of how engaging that they are. So they lead with a strong mind and have a very, very strong sense of direction. So, their minds are very, very strong. Um, and they know where they want to go and they're committed to that direction. They're dedicated to achieve the outcomes that they want to have achieved. They believe they are limitless super beings. At times, they can actually be very self-critical and perfectionistic over how they present themselves. They're showing themselves to the crowd. They fixate on their appearance to the outside world. Their fame gets brighter, as I said before. So, they're very present for their loved ones and absolutely 100% supportive of their dreams. Well, thank you everybody for watching. I hope that you found a lot of value in this video. If you did, comment below. Um, and also if you did, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.